friends, and welcome back. Today we're going to be going with problem solving using graphs, and we're going to represent the data again with graphing and using analysis. Now, they've also given us some word problems with that, so we're going to have to problem solve in order to create the data. So Brad sees many animals at the park. How many can you find? How can you find how many animals Brad sees? Okay, so here Brad is at the park and they're showing me the picture. So what do I need to know? I need to know how many animals that Brad has seen. And the information that I need is the number of rabbits, birds, and deer. Because when I look up here in my illustration, if you can zoom in a little bit, friends, there you'll see that there's rabbits, some deer, and then you see birds in the sky. So the animals that we see are what's going to be creating our graph. So down here at the bottom, the animals that Brad sees, because that's the question, that's our title. And we saw 3 types of animals and we're going to have to total them up. I'm going to use 3 different colors to total these up. So hopefully you guys can see very clearly. Okay, so when I come up here, I'm going to start with rabbit because that's my first one. And I'm going to cross it out. 1, 2, 3. I see 3 rabbits. So when I do that, I'm going to make 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to be coloring in 3 boxes. So I'm going to come all the way to the end where the 3 matches. So if you look here, I could follow that line all the way up, and that's the 3. And then to make that bar graph, remember I have to color all the way back. It has to look like a bar. That's why they call it the bar graph. Okay? Then it says birds. So let's come up here and count the birds. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birds. So I'm going to come out over here and look, I find the number 6, the bottom, by how many animals I've seen on my number axis. I'm going to come up and put my line. I'm going to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that is correct. That is 6 boxes. And then I'm going to color it all the way back. Finishing in my bar graph so that you'll see. Now I have a bar of rabbits and a bar of birds. And if you'll take a second, friends, and check, come up here and look, how many deer do you see? And can you color that in? Yes, hopefully you would see 2 deer. So you would have 2 boxes coming over to the 2 line and then coloring it back in to create your bar. All right, then it says we need to see how many he saw. So we're going to put all those numbers together. So on rabbits, I saw 3. On birds, I saw 6. And on deer, I saw 2. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Brad saw 11 animals in all. Because remember, in all meant we're going to count everything up. All right, friends, let's turn our page. Oh, here we go. Let's do this one together. Okay, so Jake has 4 more train cars than Ed. Ed has 3 train cars. Ben has 2 fewer train cars than Ed. How many train cars does Jake have? Oh my goodness. So here is our graph, friends. We're going to have to work that out. Okay. So it says Jake has 4 more cars than Ed. Okay. So I don't know how many Jake has yet, but Ed has 3 cars. So I'm going to take my color and I'm going to pick for Ed. And it told me he has 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to build my bar graph and I'm going to color it in. A little tricky, right? Now I'm going to come over here back to Jake. Jake has 4 more. So I know he has the same 3. So I'm going to give Jake my 3 so that they match. And then I'm going to give Jake 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming all the way to that line and then coloring it back in. A little tricky, huh, friends? And then it says Ben has 2 fewer cars than Ed. So Ed had 3, and I'm going to take 2 of those away from Ben. So Ben only has 1. If you look at the map, so this is 2, 3 minus 2 would be 1. And 3 plus 4 would be the 7. So using your graph, you're able to build it on. So Jake had, coming over here and all the way down, 7 train cars. All right, friends, I want you to try that right here on your own. Question 2, I want you to check and build this graph. There's only 2 things, blue eyes and brown eyes. So read this word problem. Marla has 8 dolls. 3 dolls have blue eyes. The rest have brown eyes. How many dolls have brown eyes? So again, Marla has 8 dolls. 3 dolls have blue eyes. The rest have brown. How many dolls have brown eyes? So find out how many were blue and then find the rest to find out how many were brown. Okay? Then I want you to come over here. Page 443, I want you to do me a favor. You're going to make a big, huge, fat X. We are not going to be doing that page today because we need the word problems to analyze, and we don't have the word problems if we're just going to be using graphs or dice to create graphs. So this page we're going to skip today, but you are going to flip it over to the back. Page 444. So 44 tens and 4 ones. Question 7 and 8 and 9 are challenge questions. So here is the graph. Something happened. And now we don't see part of the graph, and so we're going to figure it out. So which is your favorite fruit? Nia asked 20 children this question. I want you to circle that number, 20. Then she made a bar graph. Here is her bar graph. Nia spilled paint on the graph. Oh no. How many children chose grapes? And how many children chose bananas? Oh, you're going to have to do some figuring out. Remembering she sold 20. And then write another question that I could answer using this graph and read it to us. All right, friends, good luck. I hope you've had fun graphing with us.